welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be creating a pop-up box card with this gorgeous painted floral paper pad from Prima marketing. It's a double-sided foiled pad, so it's got this gorgeous copper foil on these sheets and it's double-sided, so you get like patterns on the other side as well. And there's 6 different designs, so 12 patterns if you count the backs. So you've got nice stripes on the back of this one, and again that's got the gorgeous copper foiling on it. And there's 4 sheets of each, so it's a really gorgeous paper pad. So you've got these pieces here as well, and again you've got the foiling on some of these pieces as well, like on the butterflies, some of the text. And on the back of that one we've got this, and then we've got these pretty flowers, and again the foilings on the text with this on the back. And then we've got these pieces which I like to fussy cut with this on the back, and then we've got butterflies with that on the back. So we'll be using a few of the different pieces for our box card today. So to create the base of the box, I've got this bright pink paper, this Satin Melon Mambo from Stampin' Up, and this measures 11.5 by 6 inches, and on the long side I'm going to score it at 2 3/4, 5.5, 8.25 and 11 inches. Then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to score it at 3 inches. I'm going to score it up to this line here, so that's the second score line. And then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to score it at 3 inches again, and I'm going to score, so this panel here has no score line, so I've got 2 panels with score lines, then a panel without, then a panel with score line, and then this one which we'll use as a tab. So then I'm going to fold all of these score lines that go this way. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece. So I've got the score line here. I know it can be sometimes hard to see it on camera. I'm going to cut into that score line here. I'm going to do the same here. So I'm creating like a tab here, and then I'm cutting the rest of that score line off. So you can see I've just got this tab on the end now. And then I'm going to cut down all the other score lines until they meet this middle line. And then all these ones that have a score line on, we can bend those down. So then I've cut these pieces from the paper pack, and essentially I cut a 2.5 inch wide strip, and then these 3 I cut at 2 3/4 inches, and this is just the piece that's left because I wanted it to be a bit longer because it's going to fit on this back panel here. So I'm just going to glue this onto that back panel. So the back panel is the one that doesn't have a score line across. And then I'm going to turn it over and fold these down, and then each of these is going to go onto one of these. So this end panel is going to end up at the front of our box, and I'm going to put this one that has less pattern on it on this one because we're going to cover most of this up anyway, and then I'll save these 2 that have got a bit more to them for the other ones. So that's going to come around like that. So what we need to do is just add a bit of tape to here. So you want a really nice strong tape for that. So this is Stampin' Up! Tear and Tape, which is a nice strong one. So then I'm going to fold that over so that sticks nicely onto there. And then we can fold it up and it comes down like this. And then that folds like that to go in our envelope as well. So now we can start decorating it. So I want lots of things to come out of here, so I want to section this off. So I've got 3 pieces here, and these all measure 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to score these 1/2 inch from each end. So then I'm going to fold over all those score lines, and then I'm going to add a bit of tape next to each of those score lines, just on those tab ends. And then I can just pop these into here. So I'm just gluing them to either side of this box. And then what I'm going to do for each one is I'm going to fold it like that, and that will make sure that it's straight across there and it folds nicely when you put it in the envelope. Again, let's just squash it down so that it folds nicely. So now you can see I've got all those sections in. And then I've cut a whole heap of these butterflies from that butterfly paper at the back. So that's this page here. See, it's got so many butterflies on it. And I've just fussy cut a whole bunch out. And then I'm going to arrange those on my card. So I'm going to start off with the smaller ones at the front. And then as we go a bit further back, I'm going to use some acetate strips just to pop the butterflies up a little bit. So I'm going to attach them to the strips that we popped across our card. And then I'm going to pop a bit of tape on the other end as well. And then I can use that to attach our butterfly on. And each time I do it, I'm just pressing it closed so that I can make sure that it closes nicely, that I've not got anything in the way. And also, I don't want it too much bigger than the card because otherwise it's not going to fit in the envelope. So this time I'm putting my tape a little bit further down the acetate strip so that it sticks up a little bit further. I'm going to put this one in the middle. And then right at the back I'm going to pop this big butterfly just onto the back here. So then I think that looks really pretty. So then I've cut 2 circles. This is from a scrap piece of the butterfly paper. It was from one of the butterflies where it kind of cuts off on the corner, so I just decided to use this side of it. And then some more of that pink paper we've been using. And then I'm going to use this happy birthday sentiment, which is from an old Stampin' Up set. I think most people are going to have a sentiment that you want to use in your collection. So I'm going to heat emboss this. I'm going to use some Stampin' Up copper embossing powder. Again, it's old, but a lot of places do copper embossing powders. So let's heat that up. And then that coordinates nicely with the copper foiling on the papers. And then I can glue that onto my pink circle. And then I've just fussy cut these 2 flowers and this from this piece of floral paper. So then I'm going to pop some foam pads on the back of here. So then I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to slide that under that wing of that butterfly. And then I'm going to fold up this butterfly's wings. And I'm just going to add it on with the body. So I'm just going to add glue to the body. And then I'm going to pop this one up on foam pads. So there's our card finished. You can always put a panel on the back of white cards to write your message as well. What I tend to do is I'll cut it and write it at the time that I'm going to send it rather than now, because it's quite awkward just to write on the back of here. So I'll do that when it comes to time to send it. You can see this is really pretty, and it can fold like this to go in the envelope, and then when the person opens it up they can display it like this. And I think it's really pretty. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I'd really appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the products that I've used for today's card are listed in the description below, and there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that helps you find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.